solamente chiesto a Nis, oni boli frustrirajući
Let's start with the first question. The occasion of this philosophical theater is not only the recently published books, translations into Croatian, but also something which is called Valentine's Day. As you know, the Valentine's Day, according to the legend, has its origin in Saint Valentine from marrying soldiers, and in the end was executed as well. And then later, during the 14th century and especially during the 18th century in UK, there was a boom of Valentine cards, which during the 20th century, with the commodification of emotions, really went into the direction that it became something which is part of our culture and also part of consumerism. So from your perspective, does Valentine's Day fit into your theory of emotional capitalism? And will you privately celebrate Valentine's Day?
I just published yesterday a piece in Haaretz, which is the daily newspaper in Israel. And it was a piece on Valentine's Day, I would say pretty scathing, and I basically called on everybody to celebrate friendship on Valentine's Day and on other days. So if you want to know if I celebrate Valentine's Day, no I don't. And for two reasons. One is that it's a consumer holiday, and second is, as I say, I think romantic love has become really romantic love and sex have become the secret, maybe DNA of consumer culture, of the consumer engine. And I think that if you took romantic love and sexuality out of, say, our vocabulary, I think the economy would collapse. Possible potential mates, maybe 10. You met them in 1962, and then, if you were lucky, another one in 1964, and then, so it's kind of, you know, it's in chronological order. You open now an internet dating sites, and you see in front of you hundreds of faces, hundreds of men or women waiting to be chosen, or being the choosers. So the modality, if you want, it's not only the sheer numbers, so it's the modality. So now it is, if you want, the choice of a mate happens in the condition where you see, you actually visualize the market of potential choices, exactly as if you went in a supermarket and you visualize all the toothpaste available at a certain moment. That means, for me, at least two significant things. I mean, the fact that we are faced with such an extraordinary amount of choice, and that the mental frame in order to approach this is the mental frame of a chooser, It means two things, it means many things, of course, or three things, I would say. One is that the encounter becomes much more rationalized. We don't, I mean, face to face, what happens is quite often that we fall in love by intuition, by looking at someone and reacting to their voice, to their body hexes, to their body behavior, and to the ways in which that person, in a way, resonates with our unconscious. Now, the internet neutralizes that unconsciousness, that the unconscious dimension of encounters, because people present themselves as sets of attributes. So you are evaluating rationally attributes. That's one thing. Second thing, what it does is that the capacity to singularize another is very much compromised. I mean, the whole tradition of love is based on the capacity to make a person singular and unique I mean, think of Dante. Dante met Beatrice when, once. And then I think 9 years later he saw her as a child. And then I think later, a few years later, he saw her in the street. These meetings were enough for him to say that she was the great love of his life, following, of course, the tradition of amour courtois. Despite the fact she had married early on, very young, despite the fact that he married, you saw someone and then you singularize, that was the modality. Romantic Berlin means, for couples, these are the romantic places to go. This is the commodification of romance. That is the fact that romance becomes progressively experienced on the consumer mode, and more objects comes to play the role of creating this romantic atmosphere.